Spencer, it was an entertaining game, but we've come out on the wrong side of a 4-2 home defeat to Havant Waterlooville. How do you reflect on that game?
Great Christmas, horrible New Year, and you're not going to win any games by conceding 4 goals. Frankly, it could have been 6 or 7. As I said, score 2 goals at home, you'd expect to get a point, if not all 3, but defensively, absolutely abysmal. Started with a back 3. Played most of the second half with a back 4 and looked like we were going to concede 5 or 6 with a back 4. So, and it's not even full-backs, it's centre halves at the moment. You know, I'm so gutted. I'm so gutted because I'm well aware about where I believe this group is. I know that we're not in a position to compete at the top of the table at the moment, but we're growing. The club is growing wonderfully, and the club have got 1,300 plus people here today. And we've prepped the players as best we can. Have they prepped themselves well enough? Clearly not. And we've put on a show like that. And don't get me wrong, congratulations to Havant. Thoroughly deserved to win the game. You know, with all the pedigree of players they've got. Look, the bench they're bringing off. And we can make a lot of excuses. There are excuses, there's reasons. But it doesn't make any difference to concede 4 goals. You know, you get yourself back into it at 1-1. Absolutely gutless to give that goal away. Criminal just before half-time. 3 of them just watched the ball go through them. Get yourself to 2-2. Yes, crucial goal, massive deflection, and you're 3-2 down. When we'd started the second half, by far the better side. But we're not hungry enough. We're not sharp enough. We're not willing enough to play, perhaps, when we got a bit of a niggle. But you can't take away from conceding 4 goals at home. I mean, I said, Havant's position is ridiculous, but we knew they could do it to someone. They've done it to us, and I said, but the club's given us every opportunity today, and we've let them down. I've let them down. I've picked these players. You know, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong on our biggest day, and you know, and it's gut-wrenching. We are not ready to move at the moment. We're just not. This group of players are not ready to do it, and it's really frustrating. It really hurts me, and it hurts me a lot more than it hurts most of them. And ultimately, I've brought the players in, and it's my error, and I've got to change it, because there's too many that either aren't good enough or certainly aren't hungry enough, working hard enough to be at this level of football, to compete, to push us to the next level.
And of course, we got a great equaliser in the second half through Jordan, but why do you think we didn't kick on from there?
Well, it's a fluke, isn't it, that takes them 3-2 up, massive deflection, and you're 3-2 down, and we've been the dominant side for that 15 minutes, but all this we're talking about doesn't change the fact we conceded 4. The second half, the back 4, the centre halves, I mean, we were kicking the ball, centre halves kicking it straight to the centre forwards, should have scored, you know, twice. Look, losing Sid in the first 5 minutes, ridiculous. We only had 2 fit subs, didn't want to put CG on, he's not fit, he came off. Of course, that man would have gone on and played for me. But Pruti's being recalled. We found that information out last night. He's going back because Hartlepool have changed their manager, so they want to have a look. So we have to, you know, he might be available Saturday, he might not, probably not. So we needed to protect CJ, we need to protect Bawley, he's been injured. So we only had 2 fit subs. You know, the other subs were on there just to try and, you know, Salim didn't make it, Falevi didn't make it, Ricky didn't make it, Connor Hall, you know, all we need is a lot of goals, isn't it? And he goes and scores a hat-trick or more, you know, but best of luck to him. But the reality is we have to look at finances, you know, things that we're doing, but none of that is an excuse. We conceded 4 goals at home in front of our biggest crowd for ages. We didn't turn up. The passing was appalling. The first goal was a shocking pass from us, gifted the goal away. Second goal is criminal, as I've said. Just pure letting the guy. We just said, let's get to half-time and sort it out. We got ourselves back in. Got ourselves back in at 2-2. And yeah, the only one I can excuse is the third, because it's a massive deflection. But 4th, didn't work hard enough. Guys brushed us off. And honestly, it could have been more. So it's been coming. Let's not get around it. You know, Jack Turner kept us in it in the first half at Havant. Braintree couldn't hit a barn door in the first half. So it's been coming. Defensively, we've been very poor. Whether we're a 5, whether we're a 4, it's not full-backs. It's centre halves at the moment. And it's also defending as a team. Let's not skip around that. Midfielders today. God dear, off the ball. You know, and one of our very best players. I love him. Aaron Cole. What the hell's he doing getting sent off 4-2? You know, game's gone. He now misses a massive game for us. It summed up the day, quite frankly. Sid off. The lack of players we had available, but take nothing away. Haven't thoroughly deserved it. Wanted it more. Better players. And got to be realistic. I do with the players. I select them. Too many at the moment are not performing, and I'm not willing to let this season just drift, whether we've got any money or not. You know, we've got a defender coming in this week on loan for the rest of the season, who's been playing at this level, is a right back, right wing back. So that's good. That's waiting to come in, but obviously Pruti's going off, Connor Hall's going off. We've got Pendlebury's contract up, and funds dictate. And today was the opportunity to put on a show for the fans so they could come back, and rightfully so. A lot of them will go, "Oh, I'm not coming back to watch that rubbish." Defensively, that is abysmal, and a lot of it was heart, and we didn't have enough of it. And we had our chances to get in the game. I can't really fault the attackers. We scored 2 goals. Keepers made a couple of good saves. Had a couple that blazed just wide. Offensively, not too bad. You scored 2 goals. But defensively, it's been coming. The last 6-7 weeks, we've been very poor. And as I said, it's centre halves. It's not full-backs. I thought Jordan was very, very good today. I thought the right back generally did well. But centre halves, we're not doing it. I said no protection from the rest of the team either. So I'm absolutely gutted with that. What an opportunity missed, and I can only apologise for it. I'm absolutely gutted. All things aside, I'm absolutely gutted. I was desperate. CJ would have gone on that pitch. He was desperate to go on, but we knew then that we wouldn't be able to use him probably at the weekend. And with everybody else that's injured, I think too many of them are just, I've got a little niggle. It's not good enough. Teams that want to progress will absolutely fight through it, and at the moment, we've got a massively soft underbelly. We don't have the funds to go and get ones, and we've just gone and blown the opportunity today, because we put on performance today, those fans would have come back. And I said rightfully so. I don't blame them. When you're conceding 4 at home, could have scored 5 or 6. So I'm really angry. I'm absolutely gutted with that level of performance and hunger. And we've nicked 2 1-0s, and thank goodness we have, quite frankly, because at the moment we're not good enough to challenge anywhere near the top end of the table, anywhere near it. And I've known about that reality, and things do need to change. And it's my decision when you bring players in, and that's my responsibility, straight in the face. So maybe it's now time that I make those changes, and we bring in people that will just run and work. And they've got a bit of a knock, old school, take me up and get me on with it. Too many of them, oh no, I've got a niggle, I'm not doing it. But that nothing defends the fact 4 goals at home, you don't get anything.
And of course, you mentioned the list of injuries. Have you got an update on Sid and Michael Falevi?
No, now Sid will be out for a number of weeks. It's an open wound. He couldn't make it up the first 5 minutes. Falevi, Salim started training, broke down, and Ricky back. And so Connor Hall was recalled to go out because obviously it sums it up. As he struggled here, but I do think the National North sort of suits him, and wish him all the very best. And he was probably the most expensive loan player we've ever had in our history. So we have to look at these things. Don't get me wrong, we're ready to do some form of business in the next week or 2. We've got things lined up. We've got some really positive things lined up, really, really positive. I know will be real plus, but it's 1 or 2's not, I don't think, going to make the difference. Defensively, we're not good enough. We're not. We had great opportunities we got back into the game, and we made an absolute mess of it. So, yeah, injuries, but everyone gets injuries at time, with the greatest respect. Unless you haven't, and you've got a bench that's cost more than my whole squad comfortably, then, that's the difference. But I'm not making excuses. We want more. I want more from this group. I want more, and if they're not good enough, I feel that now is the time. We are not going to get in the playoffs with what we've got at the moment. It's not going to happen. That's the bottom line. And those changes need to be made. They've got to be made, and somehow we have to work out a way of doing it. And with players being recalled and finances being tight, and us making an absolute mess of it today when there was the opportunity to push on, it just shows you. But it's been coming. Let's not beat around. It's been coming. We've not been great. But I know we're always trying to make that pound note squeeze into £2 by finding younger players or begging and borrowing players from clubs and saying we're paying you a lot less to take a loan lad, and doing wheeling and dealing, and that's what we've got to do. But I need more heart from this group. Really disappointed. We treat them so well, and as I said, thank you to everyone who attended today. The club put on a fantastic show, and we let them down. I let them down. It's not good enough. Everything aside, injuries, excuses and deflections and everything, 4 goals at home, you're not going to win any games.
And now, how do you pick the dressing room up for the trip to St Albans on Saturday? Quite
frankly, obviously we've got a lad coming in that's all agreed, so I'm not foreseeing any issues with that. So Pruti expects gone back. So it will be who's fit and what business we can do. This is the busy time of the year with the EFL window being open. But as usual, I'll do what I hope I do well, which is beg, borrow and steal to get in the right players. And I just want some hungry players in there that don't just want to do it on the front foot on a good day. We're not good enough at the moment to make the next step. And yes, we're doing okay. You know, we've got more points than last year. We're middle table. That's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for this club. I know whether or not we don't have the right to do better. You know, we're battling against clubs with massive resources and much bigger attendances and histories, but I want more. And that was a great opportunity, and I'm sorry to harp on. What an absolute mess of that we've made. And we have to try and pick them up, but also they have to understand responsibility. I've been nice, too nice, I feel. It's with the players. You know, Mr. Nice Guy, look after people, manage them, help them out. You know, no, now they have to give back, and that's not good enough. It's not been good enough for some time. It's average, bang average. It's not good enough. Not good enough. I want more.
Thanks, Spencer. Happy New Year, and best of luck for the weekend.
Everyone, I'm so disappointed for you. I'm so sorry. It's have a happy New Year. You know, I suppose I wake up in the morning and go, look, as a club, we're growing to get 1,300 odd here. The fantastic supporters. You know, still clapped us off. We scored a couple of goals. We were in the game, and I apologise for just demanding more. I want more. I'm so angry, and you know, we have a fantastic New Year. I'm gutted. I'm pleased we gave you a decent Christmas, and I can assure you we'll not settle for second best as much as, you know, it's always really tough. And I wish you and your families all the very, very best for 2024.
Thanks, Spencer.